And here we go. Still Spirit versus Caeltos. Still Space Marines versus Chaos Space Marines. And we do have Caeltos switching to Chaos Lord. And yeah, I also casted this game live back on our live stream channel, but yeah, as I say, I messed up the recordings that day, so it's actually not really watchable. So here we go again. We're in Greentooth Gorge, and Spirit goes for dual scout start, simply to get a little more capping power early on. And Caeltos actually goes for triple heretic. And what I really found remarkable in this game is that Spirit really reacted well to what was on the field in terms of Caeltos' unit composition. So he goes for lots of heretics straight off the bat, lots of melee heretics. And yeah, I can't quite remember in what order Spirit brought units out, but we will see that. I know for a fact that he did a really good job of reacting to Caeltos units. Anyways, here's the Tech Marine taking some pot shots at the Chaos Lord. Heretics moving in on the scouts, and I think by now Spirit sees what Caeltos is doing. He sees two heretic squads. Now he spots the third, so he definitely sees that he's up against 3 heretics. And yeah, he uses buildings really nicely. He pulls those scouts into a building, because those heretics don't have grenade launchers yet. None of them are upgrading them except for this squad, so 1 grenade launcher squad on the field. But still, very nice building usage, considering that Caeltos' army is currently mostly melee based. And yeah, scouts using their speed to great effect, kiting those heretics. Now he sees that there's grenade launchers on the field. I think that's where he decides to go for Assault Marines, most definitely, because against triple melee heretics, Assault Marines are not a good choice. But when you see that 1 or 2, I think when you see that 2 have grenade launchers, then Assault Marines are actually quite a good choice. Only thing, he should have also gone for Flamer. Don't know if he did that, but Flame is really good against ranged heretics, since they will simply melt to it. Anyways, scouts decapping the power point, not bashing the power again, rather stealing the power than destroying it. We do see the Mastercraft Bolter on the Tech Marine again. And yeah, by now all 3 heretic squads have grenade launchers, so Spirit won't be able to use buildings anymore, since those grenade launchers simply will do too much damage. We do see some very nice grenade barrages used by Caeltos, knocking back those attacks. Heretics trying to take down the scouts in retreat, 30 hit points left. They make it out barely. Caeltos has a very slight VP lead. Spirit is capping center right now, trying to change that. Those heretics have to retreat as they're already very low on health. So Spirit still needs some wreck for those Assault Marines. Tax will be able to finish the capture before the Chaos Lord gets too close. No node coming up yet, since he needs the resources right now. Caeltos is preparing a full generator farm, sort of replacing the generator he lost up here. Spirit only has 2 gens, actually lost his second power node. And those tags slightly overextend themselves, stay in the fight a little too long, I think, but it enabled the Tech Marine to do quite a lot of damage to the Chaos Lord. Right now I think those tags should definitely retreat. 1 or 2 salvos from grenade launchers and they will lose members really quickly. They're down to 300 hit points, and yeah, there we go. Spirit Caeltos actually using Worship to speed up those heretics and almost kills the entire attack squad. 2 models go down. Just as I say, those tags should have been retreated a little earlier. There's the Assault Marines on the field. Caeltos actually went for triple Aspiring Champions. I think what he did that day was sort of testing a build, what 3 Heretic squads with Aspiring Champions can do, since in the next patch Aspiring Champions will be made cheaper, they will have less upkeep, so yeah, it could be a really viable build, especially just see how much damage those 2 Heretic squads do in melee despite being upgraded with grenade launchers. So I think Heretics will move to be the counter to Assault Marines for Chaos, since I don't think they really have a cost-efficient counter. I mean, those 2 Heretic squads are more expensive than the Assault Marine squad. And yeah, Spirit almost loses them, 69 hit points. And right now is where I would get a Flamer, simply because the Flamer in combination with the Assault Marines will really hurt those Heretics. Caeltos is already going tier 2. Spirit will stay in tier 1 a little bit longer since he has to reinforce those very costly Assault Marines. So Heretics taking some pot shots at these generators. Not actually destroying any, since simply not enough. There comes the Army of Spirit to defend, and very excellent grenade barrages. Very nicely timed, completely knocking back that entire army for at least 5 seconds. Actually timed so well that the second barrage, the regular barrage, hit them all dead on, dealing terrible damage to those scouts. They actually lost a member. Tags also lost quite a few hit points. And yeah, with Spirit still at tier 1, he could actually go tier 2. Slightly missed his chance to go tier 2 at the right time. With the units on the field for Spirit, a Blood Crusher could really hurt him right now. Simply because he's so late to go tier 2. There's the worship usage again, and really nicely enables those Heretics to quickly close with the Assault Marines and deliver quite high damage to us. And this is the point where I was wishing Spirit had a Flamer. Those Heretics were so bunched up, and if that attack squad had a Flamer, all of those would have died, and it would have instantly sort of won the game for Spirit. Anyway, Scouts do get a Sergeant. We might see a very nice grenade. There it goes. Taking out 3 models and the Aspiring Champion. And Caeltos actually used the Blood Sacrifice Global to try and take down those tags. Didn't quite work, 9 hit points left. Very unfortunate for Caeltos. Spirit, very good map control right now, despite the fact his enemy has 3 Heretic squads, which could quickly get the map. We do also see mines employed by the Tech Marine right now, and Caeltos is actually going for a Chaos Dreadnought as opposed to a fast Blood Crusher. A Blood Crusher would have come out faster, but a Dreadnought simply has the larger impact. You need more units to take it down. You definitely need to invest into more AV to take it down. While a Blood Crusher can be taken down with Meltas and 1 missile launcher alone, a Dreadnought is quite harder to take down. So there's the Dreadnought stomping onto the field, and very nice layered worship to get those Heretics out of the fight really quickly. Mark target used on them, and luckily no follow-up, no shooting onto those Heretics, because they would have gone down in milliseconds, if not nanoseconds. Anyways, VP counter currently stopped 411 to 327, slightly in favor of Spirit. 100 point advantage. Well, not slightly, but in advantage of Spirit, definitely. There comes the missile launcher. No thunder and lightning yet. No melters for the assault marines. But also no upgrades on the Chaos Dreadnoughts. Dreadnought. I personally like to keep my Dreadnought with the autocannon, but especially against heavy armored units and vehicles, Markov Zinj simply rapes stuff. Markov Korn, don't know if it's that useful, but yeah, Blood Rage, really nice usage for base raping, but it can be avoided. Once you know what squad is being chased, you can easily avoid it. Scouts tried to get off a grenade, stayed slightly too long, and they might even go down. Nope, very lucky scout squad, but they lost their sergeant, so still very costly to replace for Spirit. And Caeltos is actually going for a second Chaos Dreadnought, and that will really be a pain to deal with for Spirit. We do have the Melta upgrade on the Assault Marines, so they will be able to deal with one Dreadnought a little better, but two Dreadnoughts will be quite the pain. If Caeltos can capitalize on his vehicle supremacy, he can easily turn the game into his favor. Especially, he managed to make up for his lack of VPs. They're currently even, still ticking down in favor of Caeltos. But Spirit is trying to change that right now, capping the center. So two Chaos Dreadnoughts on the field. Still no upgrades on them. Mark target on the Chaos Lord. Chaos Lord might actually go down, and there he goes. Dies to the Assault Marines. Yeah, again, nice use of worship, trying to get those heretics out as fast as possible. Slightly messed up by the Assault Marines as they disrupt those heretics. Those heretics really have to get away. No, they go down. Ouch. So losing your commander and one heretic squad, not very good for Caeltos, but there's the two Dreadnoughts, and yeah, unupgraded Dreadnoughts still do 80 DPS in melee, so they're still quite potent. Mark target used on one of those, so Caeltos has to be careful not to lose it. Yeah, Tax actually slightly bugging out, shooting two missiles at once. Caeltos still staying there, losing one of his Dreadnoughts. Excellent smite onto these heretics. And another blood sacrifice, trying to take out that librarian. Assault Marines lost one member, Tax lost one member, both very low on health, but very lucky to not lose the entire squad or more members. So Spirit really got lucky right there. Still 3 generators for Spirit, still only 2 generators for Caeltos. The one up here got bashed. And there's a Havoc for Spirit, a Havoc Devastator for Spirit, upgrading to advanced targeters right now to try and get a little more soft counter, a little more damage onto that Chaos Dread, especially since it's only one right now. Will be quite a bit easier to deal with. It upgrades to Mark of Corn, which makes it even easier. You slow it down with Melter Bombs, and then your Veil of Time Devastators and your Tax have enough time to actually deliver damage. So Spirit now spotting that Chaos Dreadnought does indeed have the Mark of Corn upgrade, and he will bring his Devastators into position to deal quite a lot of damage with Vengeance rounds. There we go. Not really close enough to deal maximum damage yet, and very nice use of Worship again. Trying to make that Dreadnought faster, trying to leverage one of its main faults. There he pops the Blood Rage. Assault Marines, Spirit notices that his Assault Marines are targeted, kites those around, Melter Bomb on the Chaos Dreadnought, he is slowed down. And as I say, Missile Launcher has quite a lot of time to tickle down its health. It takes reduced damage from the Blood Rage, but still, Caeltos can control it, Caeltos can pull back, and Spirit is going tier 3 right now. We won't see Terminators too soon. 135 Zeal for Spirit. But still, getting that tech advantage can be quite crucial. Another Blood Rage. Don't know if it's a good idea. He would have been able to save that Dreadnought. Right now it's sort of locked into chasing down those units. Another Melter Bomb goes down, and I'm pretty sure that he will go down very shortly. Veil of Time used on the missile attacks, but due to pathing, they can't fire right now. So that Dreadnought actually survives a little longer than it should have been. And Chaos Lord comes in to try and get rid of those Devastators, but yeah, the Dreadnought dies without actually making too many kills.
The Codex Astartes guides us to victory. One of our generators is under
So Caeltos still working on those VPs. They're still fairly close for both teams, 268 to 219, ever so slightly in favor of Spirit. We can look at war gear. We have Signum Armor and Mastercrafted Bolter for the Tech Marine, Lightning Claws, Harness of Rage and Icon of Core. Not sure why the Harness of Rage, but if I remember correctly, the Chaos Lord had the Iron Halo in tier 1, so that could explain the Harness of Rage. Together it really makes him quite a lot tankier, but right now the Harness of Rage won't do much for him. Anyways, very nice grenade barrages, again, locking down those attacks, preventing them from closing into range. Smite sort of failing, the graphics were spot on, but still didn't quite hit. There was no cover, they weren't in cover, so don't know why they didn't take any damage at all. Can be quite hard to aim when stuff is moving. Very nice use of high powered shot. Slowing down those attacks. Caeltos now went for dual Chaos Space Marines. Both still not marked yet. No marks for them. Excellent smite used on those. They were in cover, so it slightly made them survive it a little more. And that combination really hurts. Mark target and vengeance rounds on the Chaos Lord. Chaos Lord can't be suppressed, so using vengeance rounds on him has no drawback at all. It simply deals tons and tons of damage to him, and combined with mark target quickly took him down from 500 hit points to 0 in like half a second. So Spirit working on those VPs, getting the third one into his possession, destroying all generators of Caeltos. Caeltos really I think the loss of both these dreadnoughts really hurt his economy. Especially getting those two in the first place was quite a drain on his resources. Heretics mark targeted, used the blood sacrifice again, and actually killed the Devastators. And yeah, also very nice use of that worship, trying to keep those summoned bloodletters longer in the fight. But Caeltos actually had to pay with it with one entire Heretic squad. There's the ranged Terminators, and Caeltos calls the GG, as he won't be able to deal with those, despite the fact that he has 2 Mark of Zinj Marines on the field, but it's simply too much. The Assault Marines would have negated the Mark of Zinj. Terminators would have been able to deal tremendous amounts of damage with their assault cannon. And yeah, definitely a good game again. Caeltos slightly odd strategy, especially going for 2 Chaos Dreadnoughts and losing that second one with the Blood Rage down here. That was sort of unnecessary. I mean, he could have pulled it back, not using the second Blood Rage, and actually repaired it, because he had some Heretics right here at this red point when it happened. Yeah. So one more replay I have. I will load that up. after looking at the stats really quickly, another sip of water. And here we go, looking at the stats. We have a very good commander score for Spirit. I can't read that message. Spirit, yeah, nice commander score, not losing his commander once, going to level 5. Caeltos going to level 3, losing his commander twice. Low commander score for that. Unit score, Caeltos really high on units lost count. Those heretics really died in droves towards the end, once the Libby hit the field, especially with Smite. Spirit losing quite a few units for Space Marine, but not too bad. Also, yeah, quite a lot of kills on those heretics, of course. Power-wise, it was fairly equal. Caeltos had a very slight advantage. He had more generators slightly earlier, but other than that, I don't think much gen harassment happened. Spirit managed to take out Caeltos generators towards the end, but yeah, power lost 3 and 9 for Caeltos, so yeah, that really must have happened towards the end because he still has more power than Spirit. Anyways, I'll load up the last replay. If Bloodfoot is still listening, you can stop the recording, especially since I will look at my Steam message. Alright.